Hey, what's up guys? It's your boy the Fice back at it with another video. We're doing another Raid Shadow Legends video, but before we get it started, like always, if it's your first time here, definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you guys think. Come join us on Discord. The links are going to be all on the bottom. Come follow us on Twitch, all that good stuff, guys. And there is that one thing that I have been mentioning in the latest videos. We are going to drop our first Fice Spam merchant item. It's going to be an awesome t-shirt. So if you did want to support this channel in any way, guys, definitely be sure to check out that link when it drops. I'm going to be putting it in all the videos. That is a good way that you guys can support. You can support through Patreon as well, but the way I would actually get some really strong support is through these t-shirts, guys. So definitely check it out when it comes. So let's talk about what we're going to talk about with this content today. So what we're going to talk about is our boy Skartorsis, guys. Skartorsis is an amazing Lego. If you saw the video of where we did the summoning and we got a few Legos, definitely be sure to check it out if you haven't. But we were actually able to pull Skartorsis, so let's take a look at him right now. Now, the thing I do love about this game, and we're going to go through an in-depth breakdown, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my camera over because I know you guys can't see what's going on right now. I'm going to be discussing the essentials of how I assess a character and how I want to build them and why. So the first thing I definitely do want to talk about, even before we start talking about the gear, I just love how this character looks. This character looks absolutely incredible. I'm so happy we pulled him when we did. But what we're gonna first do is start looking at his baseline stats. So right now, because we do have him fully ascended 6-star, we can see it through here instead of going to the index. But if you see his HP right off the bat, his HP is extraordinary. It's a really good baseline of HP that this guy has as a support character. His attack, it's decent, because his main attack is an AoE hit where it hits everyone. But obviously, if you compare it to the HP and the defense, the HP and the defense is where this guy really starts to shine, which is really incredible. His speed is also fantastic. He has 109 speed, guys, so I do love the fact that he's there. And, you know, his crit rate is 15, crit damage, same 50%. Resist is 40. Let me take a look at the resist really quick on like another character. Usually I kind of go to like another rare, or like, you know, Kale is like usually the one I love to look at. I think Kale's is 30, right? Yeah, Kale's resist is 30. So he gets a little more resist than what you would see for like normal characters and stuff like that. But what I really do love about that character is his HP and defense. Now, guys, when I'm building a character, now there are a few builds you can go when it comes to Skartorsis. There's plenty of times I have discussions with people where they have gone attack mastery build with support. That's a viable build because of the attack he does as his default. There's a lot of ways of where you can build Skartorsis. I personally did not build Skartorsis like that, so that's why I also want to have this video so you guys can see. So what we're going to do now is, since we kind of talked about the baseline stats and you guys already know where my favoritism lies, it lies in the HP, defense, and speed. You're going to get a hint now at how I'm going to try to build him or what I'm going to revolve around. I do focus on his attack, but not too much. So we're going to take a look right now, and we're going to kind of take a look at his skills to kind of get an assessment. We'll visit the artifacts in a bit, but I want you to understand my thought process and then see where we go from there. And yo, guys, tell me how you guys build Skartorsis, because I do love hearing the different builds that people put. You know, that's the cool thing about this game. You can build them out however you want, and it makes it amazing. So the first move that he has, absolutely incredible. This dude's a stripper, and I'm not talking about like Iggy Azalea in that video where 6 degrees, bitches think they know me. She does look amazing, but still. He strips buffs, which is absolutely incredible. And if you stack him all the way, we did put some legendary tombs on him. I don't know if I'm going to put the rest of the tombs. It would be nice to put the rest of the tombs there to get those 10%. So it would basically be attacks all enemies, which is amazing because his normal attack attacks everyone. Has a 30% chance of stealing one random buff from each enemy. And that's a 50% chance, guys. So that's incredible. So if we did put 2 tombs on him, we would be... No, I'm sorry. Wait. Yeah, it's 50% because right now it's currently 40%. Because level 3 is 5. Level 4 is 5. That makes it to 40. And then if you go to level 6, it adds another 10%. So it becomes 50. Yep, that's legit. I was accidentally mixing it up for level 5. So that would be incredible if we did tomb him. But tombing legendaries are expensive, guys. So the thing is, you try to be very conservative up to a point when it comes to the tombs. Obviously, you know, we've been playing the game for a bit, and the other Lego we have is Bellinor, which is really cool, really awesome. But the video is not about him. But I did put tombs in Skartorsis because I felt I was going to be using him a lot because there's a lot of utility with him in my team. The next move that we're going to discuss about now is Command Level 2. He places a 50% increased attack buff and 30% increased crit rate buff on all allies for 2 turns. This is absolutely amazing, the fact that he gives these 2 buffs, and we also can reduce the cooldown by 1, so it becomes a 3-turn move. This is really nice, guys. I definitely love using this, and you're going to see what happens when we start building the Masteries and how this helps. The next and really important one that I really do love is Rebirth. Now, the cooldown for Rebirth is 7 turns. If you did book him, which we would just need 2 more books in this case, he would be able to drop it to 5 turns, but it removes all debuffs from all allies, then heals all the allies and fills their turn meter. The amount of which is healed, it increases to the amount of debuffs he removes, guys. So that is incredible. And also the amount of which each ally's turn meter is filled increases according to the number of debuffs removed. This is a really insanely good move across the board when you're using him all over the place. So, like, you can remove poisons in Spider, you can remove debuffs in Arena, you can remove the debuffs in Dragon, you can remove, like, he heals and removes debuffs. That is really nice, guys. So not only does he buff, he removes debuffs and heals, and he also strips buffs from enemies. That is a really legit one. And if we look at his aura is also the thing that seals the deal for me, and I really do love it. I did wish that this was ally speed across the board, but I know I would be asking for a lot. But still, it does increase ally speed in dungeons by 33%. So this guy really helps when you're farming dungeons, specifically as a lead character, which is really good. So you kind of got the idea now that we're talking about it. Like, okay, he strips debuffs, so we're going to care about, well, he strips buffs, so we're going to care about accuracy to a point. He buffs characters, so we're going to want to build masteries potentially around getting turn meter when these things start expiring. And then we also have this Rebirth move, which is a really long move, but if we build a lot of speed, we can probably get 2 turns in before someone else does something, before a boss or someone does something. So this is my thought process on building this character. So while we're going along this, now let's take a look at the artifacts. If you look at the artifacts that we built, we went pure speed, guys. So we went, you know, basically 6 sets of 2 pieces of speed. So basically we get 12% speed each set, which is really amazing. Bear with me, fam, because I don't know, it's just really sluggish. Ever since the patch, the game has just kind of been a bit sluggish. But yeah, so every 2 speeds artifacts, we get 12% speed. So we get 12, 24, 36% speed, which is really awesome. Now, I know, guys, divine speed would be absolutely amazing, but we do not have a good set available for us. So I kind of am avoiding it right now, and I do have a free respec, but this, because I'm using a baseline speed set, I actually do spec a point into the, what is it called? There's a certain mastery we're going to get into that I'm going to discuss this one. It doesn't tell you the actual name, but this book one, when we get into that, that's what we're going to discuss. So let's just continue discussing the artifacts so you guys can get an idea. So we went full speed to try to get 2 turns as much as possible, or get as much turns in as we could, so we can get that Rebirth cooldown as quick as possible, and also continuously buff our allies so they can continue having that crit rate and damage, so no one really goes faster than them in that case. So that was the thing we did there. I basically accentuated or emphasized all the base stats that he was already really powerful on, because the idea is, if you put percentage on your highest base stat items, you're gonna get the most out of it. So if you put like 100% on HP, let's say, you're gonna get the most out of this, versus like if you put like 100% on someone that has very low attack, you're not gonna reap a lot of it. So if you put 100% attack, and then like if you compare 100% attack versus 100% defense, you're gonna get way more points in general from the base stat that has more stats there. So in this case, he has a lot of HP, he has a lot of defense. So I focused on those, I focused on speed, and then finally I started worrying about attack. Crit rate, I did wish that I did have higher as a substat, because, alright, so the thing is, he buffs us with 30% crit. So if we looked at that other skill that we had, Dark Command, he gives 30% crit on his own. So right off the bat, if we look at this, unfortunately, I'm at 22% crit rate. That's too low for me personally. If I would start adjusting things, maybe if I could, any substats that were HP, I would probably start removing those and start, if I was min-maxing, I'd probably start min-maxing for some crit rate. I would want to be maybe around 30% crit rate, 40% crit rate. It's going to be tough, but that's where I would want. So when you do get the crit rate buff, you'll at least be at 70%. If you did use the leader skill of Bellinor, then he gives you a nice good leader skill of crit, which would be 24% that you wouldn't have to cover. So we would kind of be good there if we used him as a leader. But the idea would essentially be, and this is where I was going, was I focused on his HP, I focused on his defense, and I focused on his speed, and then after that I started focusing on attack and everything else following suit. So those were kind of the way, that's the way I essentially started, you know, getting Skartorsis in that state that I wanted him to, so he could benefit for us. Now the thing is, Skartorsis for us was built with a purpose. Now when people build characters, they build characters for a reason. Whether they're building them for Spider, or they're building them for Arena, or they're building them, you know, for another dungeon of some sort. My particular reason why I was building Skartorsis is because currently, right now, he is the guy that's helping me farm Minotaur. He's helping me farm the last stage of Minotaur, and he's doing really amazing with it. If you wanted to build a damage spec for Spider, that would be pretty good too. That would be pretty awesome. But I didn't build Skartorsis for just Spider. I built him for like a multi-purpose kind of thing, where it's like he helps with Minotaur. I have a lot of Gimp characters that take a lot of damage. How can Skartorsis help them continue to sustain damage, but also buff them and continue just pumping stuff out? And then we would have the banner, which would just basically have accuracy as the main stat for, you know, when you use the main attack to strip buffs. Now, if we go into the Masteries, fam, this is kind of what I really wanted to talk about now. So, my camera's in a good place. We're kind of good here. I definitely do like it. We're not focusing on offense for our build. We're focusing on defense and support. So, if we look at support has pinpoint accuracy. We're building accuracy there, you know, so when we strip buffs. This also helps with accuracy when he doesn't have anything on cooldown. He has a 30% chance of increasing the turn meter by 10% when a buff cast by this champion is removed or expired. So let's think about this, guys, for a second. When he buffs, he's buffing each character. If we talk about dungeons, he's buffing each character with 2 buffs. There's 5 characters in total, including himself. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So there's a 30% chance 10 times where his turn meter will increase by 10%, which is really amazing. So that's what this buff is really relaying. It's saying has a 30% chance of increasing the turn meter by 10% when a buff cast by this champion is removed or expired. If you're doing it in dungeons, you have 5 characters, multiply that by 2, that's 10. So you have 10 chances of a 30% chance of making the turn meter increase by 10. This helps a lot when he's trying to get that second turn in. This is really good, and it helps with it has good synergy with the speed. So we have that. We also have Swarm Smiter, which increases the accuracy by 4 for each enemy alive. Because we have the base speed set, Lore of Steel, which was the thing I was mentioning, this helps increase the stat for the speed set. Because it says here, increases the set bonus of basic artifacts. So life, offense, defense, speed, critical rate, critical damage, accuracy, resistance by 15. This increase is multiplicative, not additive. So because we don't have a good divine speed set, Lore of Steel is really good. When I do have a good divine speed set, I will respec him to remove this, and I'll put like another spec. I'm trying to see what I would probably want. Probably maybe this. Decreases the turn meter when this champion hits them with their default skill. Because it's an AoE, instead of being 20%, it's going to be 5%. But that's still pretty good. That's still pretty good. I don't know about Cycle of Magic. Has a 5% chance. It's a low percent chance, but if it happens, I mean, it's not a bad idea. We can do this. Reduces the damage of this champion receives from a specific enemy by 0.75% for each hit. But honestly, our character is so tanky that I don't feel like we need this. And that's why I'm going to show you that in the video. The next thing we definitely went to after that, we already discussed this about the decrease, the turn meter increasing. Merciful Aid, which this helps increase essentially, you know, when we heal a character that is stun, sleep, frozen. When a character has this debuff or anything, this character heals them significantly with Rebirth, which is really amazing. And then after that, we have Lasting Gifts. Has a 30% chance to extend the duration of any buff cast by this champion by 1 turn. This is basically the opposite behavior of Master Hexer, which it does it for debuffs. This one does it for buffs. So basically, when you buff the character, instead of it just lasting for 2 turns, it has a chance to last for an extra turn, which is really amazing. So now let's talk about the defense. For defense, we increase the resistance. Over here, we increased the amount of healing. Shield doesn't matter to us because we don't do anything with shield. Decreases the damage received from AoE attacks. It's kind of the route that I just went. That, you know, it's debatable on that one because obviously you can get to this tier on this next tier just by using rejuvenation if you wanted. After that, I did heals this champion by 6% of their max HP. Each time an enemy is healed occurs once per turn. I did this kind of for arena purposes. Solidarity. Yo, I'm about to Google that eventually after this. Increases ally resist by 5 for each buff placed on them by this champion. Because this champion buffs them with 2 things, it increases the resistance by 10 in that case. So that's pretty awesome. That actually is really good. I definitely love that I put that. Increases ally resist by 5 for each buff placed on them by this champion. So each of the allies that we have would basically have an extra 10 resistance. So it's a really good thing, guys. The next thing we definitely did discuss besides that was Selfless Defender. Selfless Defender decreases the damage an ally receives from the first enemy hit in each round by 20%. This champion will receive that damage instead. I did this because Kale, Jarang, and Apoth are, well, Apoth is because he's like 5-star right now, but they're really gimp. Like, my Jarang is very glass cannon, like he gets hit really hard in arena, so I decided to give Skartorsis the responsibility of reducing that damage on the first hit, which is really awesome. We're gonna do a Minotaur Run so you guys can see what it's like when he reduces damage, because there's an attack that they do in Minotaur Run where they hit all the enemies, including him, and it looks like he's getting hit by like a Scar, like a machine gun. It's ridiculous. So we're gonna do a Minotaur Run so you guys can see what that's about. But I did that for Minotaur Runs and also a bit for Arena, so he can help try to do some sustaining. Cycle of Revenge has a 50% chance of increasing the turn meter by 15% when an ally is attacked with a critical hit. Will only increase the turn meter once if any ally receives multiple critical hits from a single turn. But that's still really good to kind of get Skartorsis to you know, basically go again and then use Rebirth. And that's the real main thing that I do love about it. And then after that, I used Bulwark, which is really good, and it decreases the damage all allies receive by 5%. This champion receives the damage instead. And this was the thing where I'm saying where when they get hit, he's going to be taking the damage. So in theory, when you're doing dungeons, there's 5 characters. 4 of those characters, 5, 10, 15, 20%, he's going to be taking that damage instead. So we went for a defense support build. That's what we essentially did with Skartorsis. I didn't want to keep this conversation too long. I'm hoping I could edit some pieces to kind of help with that. But the next thing we're definitely going to talk about now is we did the artifacts. we talked about the base stats. We talked about the skills. You guys got an idea of where I was kind of going with Skartorsis. Then we talked about the masteries to kind of tie that all together. The next thing to show you is kind of like, you know, a few Minotaur runs, I guess, to kind of like, let's do like 2 Minotaur runs maybe, so you guys can get an idea of what it's about. And I think that would be a good way to probably end the video, because if I do any more, the video is just going to be like 30 or 40 minutes. I'm just trying to keep this video short for you guys so you guys can get an idea of why I built Skartorsis. Let me know what you guys think about the build, you know, how you built them, because you can build him for various purposes. I build him for Minotaur runs and also multi-purpose, essentially. Like, the best way I could explain it, my Skartorsis is for multi-purposes, because right now I don't have a lot of 6 stars. So I need to have him perform well in all conditions. So that's kind of the route that I went with him on why I want him to have a lot of defense, a lot of HP. Because I want him to be able to protect Kale. I want him to have a lot of speed to get that rebirth, to heal everyone if Apoth is not able to get the heals in time. So we're going to do stage 15 really quick. Bellinor has those hand-me-downs. Yeah, Bellinor has the crit, but I definitely do love the speed run, the speed lead for dungeons. It's just absolutely incredible. We don't do enough Minotaur runs. I haven't done a video with Minotaur 15 yet, so I think this would be really good. And the fact that now we do farm Minotaur 15, this will give you an idea why. So the 4 characters for my team that is going to be for Minotaur runs is going to be Apoth, Kale, Skartorsis, and Jarang. The 5th person, Bellinor, that's going to be a replaceable character that will always grind up until we get a better team in the future. This is what I built as my Minotaur team, guys. Definitely let me know if you guys, who are you using for your Minotaur runs? But this is the reason why I built Skartorsis the way he is, because I needed him to do stuff in Arena. I needed him to do stuff here. He's doing stuff in Dragon for me when it comes to debuffing. He's just doing a lot of great things. The only thing I could say is, because I built Skartorsis in a defensive... You see that? That's what I was referring to in regards to him absorbing the damage. Because, like, he got hit like it was a machine gun. It was actually really funny. And then he did a quick rebirth just to kind of top people off. So we're going to try to see if we could probably get another rebirth when they start using the debuffs or whatever. But that was that part where he just, like, if you go back into the video, you'll see him getting hit up like he just got scar-faced. It's ridiculous, but it's the funniest thing ever. But I do love that he absorbs the damage really well for the entire team. So these are the 4 people. Now, what I was trying to talk about before is, when it comes to the way I built Skartorsis, he isn't optimal when it comes to Spider, because he doesn't pump out enough damage as his regular attack. Even though he pumps out damage as a regular attack, he's a good support to do damage. It's not enough damage to actually kill people like the way, you know, Kale's Acid Rain does that. So if I did build maybe Skartorsis probably for Spider specific, I'd probably pump a lot of damage into him so he can kind of take care of the Spiderlings. But I actually really do like how he performs in all the other dungeons and Arena for the time being for me. So I'm really loving this spec that we're kind of doing for him. But this is essentially the whole thing that we're doing with basically Skartorsis, helping everyone stay alive and all that good stuff. If we do another run, it's probably going to make the video 4 minutes. Maybe we should probably just stop it here. You guys got the gist just by us doing that Minotaur run. Essentially, just to give you an idea, all these characters are maxed out. Bellinor is the only one that needs to start getting scrolls. So I'm just working on him getting his stuff up, and then we're going to start focusing on other characters in the future. But I do want to cut the video short. I'm going to do some editing just to kind of get that out of the way. Let me see. Let's do a quick Arena run. Let's do a quick Arena run so you guys can get the idea of how he looks. Which isn't bad. It's not bad at all. If I did have a little more damage, it'd be pretty cool. But overall, I mean, in Arena, the way he's built currently is pretty legit. So let's see. Yo, these are some easy ones right here. But this would be crazy. This would actually be crazy because they have an increased magic ally speed in all battles by 21%. I'm curious if we can outrun them. I don't think we can. We're gonna find out, fam, because we have Kale's crappy lead skill, and obviously our Skartorsis is only for dungeons. But our Skartorsis still beat them to the punch. Our Apoth will beat them as well. Okay. We did a debuff there. So basically, just to give you an idea of my team and my composition, I'm going to do another video on this to give the discussion. But basically, Skartorsis, he can go basically, you know, before Apoth, after Apoth, it doesn't matter. As long as he goes before Jarang and Kale, that's all that matters. But he buffs the team. So he basically buffs everyone to get the extra attack and crit. After that, you know, Apoth goes. You usually want to get Apoth as fast as possible because he brings everyone else up. But like I said, I'm building Skartorsis for dungeons to get that rebirth down. Like that's right now PvE is my main priority, not arena, because I'm trying to farm a bunch of things. I'm trying to farm better gear for dungeons using dragon. I'm trying to farm Minotaur, all that good stuff. So that's the reason why you saw Skartorsis go before Apoth, because he has slightly faster gear right now. And it's okay. It's not optimal, but it's okay. So then Apoth did speed. And the next thing is you need a debuffer. In my case, I have Jarang and I did Talons. So he dropped the defense and attack on Kale, and he dropped the defense and attack on this person, which I don't know that character because I actually do not have that champion. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to do Acid Rain. Should kill someone. It kills Kale, and it kills that other person. Now, the reason that basically destroyed them was because, one, our attack damage, if we look at info, our attack damage was increased by 50% because of Skartorsis. And the crit rate was increased by 30, so we're not going to miss that. And then they had defense down from Talons from Jarang by 60%. So increased attack, defense down. Basically, math gets crazy after a while. So at this point, we could decide whatever we want to do. I could just be nice, and I'm like, I could either try to remove the debuffs, or I could play it safe with Jarang because he's kind of a glass cannon and just rebirth everyone to heal him. I'll rebirth everyone. That's it. I have a heal just in case with Apoth if things get crazy. We're going to do now Disintegrate. We can go for a stun on this guy. We could kill the girl as well. He died. It doesn't matter. And that's pretty much GG when it comes to doing arena in that case. But that's kind of the team that I went for in regards to that. You know, there's a few optimizations I can do in regards to the team. Like, it gets the job done for me, so I'm actually really happy about it. But what I really wanted to show you guys, and I think we kind of hit the head on it, or hit the nail on the head with it, was, yo, how did we build Skartorsis? Why did we build Skartorsis the way? Because we looked at his base stats. Then why did we build the Masteries like that? Because we wanted to benefit from the skills and what we have available as the base stats and all that good stuff. And then after that, we kind of went from there. So I hope you guys had a really good idea of my thought process with Skartorsis. Definitely let me know what you guys think. I do love knowing your input and all that stuff. But again, I'm sorry if this video was a little bit long. But I do like having these conversations and you guys having this idea of like, oh shit, so Fice is doing this because of XYZ. Maybe I can start doing that type of thought process and see where I can go. And maybe you build characters this way, which is pretty awesome. And honestly, like, listen when I say, I don't knock anyone on building a character a certain way. I don't think, I don't criticize like that. I like the different thought process. I do love hearing like, oh, someone went with a damage build with Skartorsis. I think that'd be pretty rad. The person attacks all enemies. Why not? You know what I'm saying? But there's other ways to build the character if you just think about it differently and someone introduces a different perspective. And that's what I'm all about when it comes to Raid, when it comes to games in general, like meta and stuff, even fighting games. When I talk about strategies and stuff like that, it's really to give that different perspective so people can kind of actually get knowledge out of it. So you can, like, you know, there's going to be things in videos that you're going to be like, yo, I like this, I like this, I like this, but I don't like this. It's the same thing when you're exercising with the gym. this gave me benefits. This, you know, I saw results from this. I saw results from this. I didn't see results from this back workout. I'm going to eliminate it. It's the same idea, guys. So that's why I love doing these conversations, and I love reading the comments, because when I read those comments, people also give info. People give amazing info, and then I'm like, you know what? That's not a bad idea. That's actually a good way of thinking about it. Or like when I read the comments of what I said, and people are like, yo, that's actually pretty awesome. I love hearing that dialogue. So that's why I really love doing these videos. So yo, guys, again, if you want to support this channel is really small right now. It's in its infancy, and the only way it can grow is with your help. So if you really appreciate these videos, definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment. I'm going to try to edit as much of the video as I can to kind of reduce it. Again, we're having our first Fice Fam merchant drop soon. It's in the final phases of design. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I know that you guys are going to definitely love it. So I'm looking forward to a lot of you guys buying the shirt, supporting it, all that good stuff, because I think it's going to be really cool, and you guys are going to really love it. You know, subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitch, come join us on Discord, be part of the amazing community. I love talking to everyone throughout the week. Leave a comment, leave a like. Let's get these videos out here. Give me your thoughts of what you thought about the Skartorsis vid. Let me know what you guys do if you have Skartorsis. And yo, I love you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. See you guys. Thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys later. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, if this is your first time here and you're watching from YouTube, definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you ever come to Twitch, definitely be sure to hit that follow button. Come join us on Discord. The link is below in the YouTube description. Also, last but not least, I want to say major shout outs to the sponsors. If you guys also wanted to financially support the stream, definitely be sure to check out that YouTube description below. There is a Patreon link. And if you can't support financially, don't worry, guys. There's other ways you can actually show support. That's getting the word out, sharing the content, letting friends and loved ones know about this channel. Tell them to come and hang out. Come join us on Discord. You will not regret it. It's the best community / family ever. It says it right there on the freaking board. Yo, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you guys next time. Let me know in the comments below what you would like to see next, what you think about the video, and so on. I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.